finally, we get to hear from one of the J6s. He's a member of the Proud Boys. So at the moment of the so-called insurrection, he was at home. He did not attend the rally. He was at home and he got arrested. And by the way, he got 20-year sentence. Could be 21, not sure. You got to remember, he got sentenced in D.C., and that is a notorious liberal town. I mean, Biden got, I think, 92% of the votes there. So you could imagine what the jury made up their own minds. So let's hear what he has to say about the so-called insurrection.
I don't know how you commit an act of sedition when you're literally calling the cops and being like, hey, I'm coming to town. I would share my live location.
From what I understand, he's kind of high up in the organization. He might be the head guy. I don't know. But before he goes into town, he shares his location with the cops. If you're committing an insurrection, you don't share your location with the cops. That doesn't make sense. You might want to keep that quiet. No. Every time they come into town, whichever town they call the police. Hey, we're going to be here. We're going to be doing this. We're going to be he says he sets up live locations with the cops. Keep that in mind. And for those of you who have a low IQ, that's like the bank robber calling the police and telling him what time they're going to be at the bank. Okay? Makes sense?
You know, with the liaison, whatever liaison, I come into town to share. I have nothing to hide.
Yeah.
We have nothing nefarious. So how the f*** am I going to come into D.C. and be like, hey, Officer Shane Lamont, right? Because that was the officer that the DOJ railroaded. Good cops get railroaded. He needs to be pardoned. But, and I'm working on it. Hey, I'm coming into town. Here's my live location. The Proud Boys are going to be here. We're going to march here. They knew my plans completely for January 6th. Why would if I'm going to storm the Capitol, if I'm going to commit an act of sedition, why the f*** would I tell the cops? The same cops that supposedly we'd want to beat up to get in there. There was no goal there. Right? There's no objective. There wasn't, like, if I wanted to do it, it would have been done correctly. I didn't want to do it. I didn't plan on doing it. But if I wanted to do it, it would have been successful.
Hey, you don't know what you're talking about. Here we have two men. One is a meme maker. That's the white guy. And if you don't know what a meme is, it's one who makes those little joke things on the internet. That's a meme maker. And you have on the other side, this black guy, Rochester man, given 180 days in jail for raping a girl. 180 days. The white guy, right here. Meme maker, Trump supporter. Douglas Mackey, Ricky Vaughn, found guilty of trolling Hillary Clinton during the 2016 election. Faces 10 years in jail. Anybody can explain that to me and make it make sense? Yeah, you go ahead and do that. Make it make sense to me. Then tell me what's going on. Keep in mind, Trump requested additional security. I think it was the National Guard. Guess who turned it down? Nancy Pelosi. From what I understand. This whole thing smells. You know where I'm going with that.
They would have came armed. And then you see those on the left, Democrats come out and they say, oh, well, they were armed. Well, not a single one of them were actually charged with that.
And that's another thing. If you're going to go in to do an armed insurrection, you need guns and all kinds of other stuff you need. Carrying signs is just not going to cut it. To have an insurrection, you need guns. No ifs, ands, or buts. And that doesn't mean that somebody found one sitting around in the crowd. No, you need lots of guns. But guess what? Not one of them got charged with any arms offenses. Remember, this is called an insurrection. Go look it up. If you're doing an insurrection or a takeover, you need arms. Not one of them was charged with any arms violation. And from what I understand, the police were firing rubber bullets into the crowd and various other things. And I think if I remember correctly, they were firing guns randomly into the crowd. When you do that, people start running and moving around, and you can start like a stampede. Then all of a sudden, the cameras rush over to there, take those pictures, and put those pictures on the news.
I know also they like to talk about Officer Sicknick, who died of natural causes. We know that because that's what it says.
Rest in peace.
Yes, and it's heartbreaking, yes.
It is. It's heartbreaking for the family. And I understand the plight of his family, but I mean, I feel like it's an emotional thing to your son's, you got to blame somebody. And I get that. You know what? I'm not going to shit on their family. Let them do whatever they want, but he did die of natural causes.
Yeah.
It's an autopsy.
Yeah.
We're here for facts.
And nobody was charged with manslaughter. And I'm sure if the DOJ could put a little linkage between anyone on manslaughter, they would have done so.
From what I understand, the FBI won't have their own people in there. They'll have paid informants in there. Reason being is that if they have to go to Congress and answer questions, and someone will say, were there any FBI agents, informers in the crowd? They can say no. And they'd be telling the truth. No, they have paid informants. They mostly won't put any agents in there. So they have plausible deniability. No, we didn't have any agents in there. No, they paid other people to go in there and maybe hooked a wire up on them. Who knows, whatever, allegedly. This is how it works. Any kind of gathering where you have, let's say, 300 to 400 people, maybe more, for some kind of demonstration and whatnot, be 100% sure there are informants or police in that crowd. 100%. Not maybe, but no. 100%. So this is not a theory. This is what happens. A lot of people don't understand that. And the people who organize any kind of demonstration or whatnot, they know they are paid informants within their own organization. This is not a mystery. If you don't know this, then you are seriously lacking.
Like every day and every night, flowing through the mountain streets at night, go away driving the city.